Hey, hi everybody, Kurt Quinnell back on Lake of the Woods. I am just setting up for the afternoon bite in this spot. The bite has been kind of off and on here, and I'm going to move tomorrow, but I don't usually fish the afternoons. If there happens that there's an afternoon bite here, well then I'll stick around a little bit longer. But it's just 12:41, as you can see here, and I'm going to fish until 4:30 or so, or a quarter to 5. I like to be in before it gets dark, so that's my only plan. I'm going to be out here for a while. But I had a guy ask me about my Humminbird this week after the last video, and he goes, how do you have yours set up? I like it that way, and how do you go about all that? Well, let's take some time while I'm waiting for a bite, and I'll show you some of the things you want. First of all, this is the screen that I use most of the time. This side of the screen is the top all the way to the bottom, all right? So this is the full water column right here. This side here is what you see in this little box. You see that little box right there? That's what this is. This is zoomed 8 times. Now you can change that using this plus or minus. If you see it's 8 times zoom right now, if I want to go to 6 times zoomed, the deeper you are, the more zoom you want. Or maybe you want to go to 4 times zoomed. Now you can see it comes up like that, but you take this button, push this, and that'll give you more of the water column. See, now this box gets bigger as that zoom action, as that zoom ratio is less. So I'm going to go back to 8 because that's what I like, and then move that column down. Now watch this. I'm going to pull this line up out of the zoom box, and you'll kind of see. You see it's coming up here and coming up there. Once I get past the top, it disappears from here, but oh, it's still over here. Now, if I've got a suspended fish that I'm coming up on, I want to get a good quick look at it, I can move this box, the zoom box, up and down the water column. So I'll come up, and here's my jig that I picked up. All right? Don't worry about that. That's an anomaly. That's nothing. So you've got a lot of flexibility with this. I'll go back to where I was on the bottom, lower this jig back down. Now you can change. I'll get my line back down here. You can change you can have this be skinnier. Oh, by the way, this line, this column here and this column here is like a straight up and down flasher. This is immediate. This stuff over here is history, but this is just like watching a straight up and down flasher over here and in this column here too. Now, to be truthful, they kind of disappear and come back for me. So I'm not sure why they do that, but they're both here now, and sometimes I have one, sometimes I have two. Another thing is, sometimes that time, right there it says 12:43, sometimes that time is just gone for a while, then boom, it's back. That's all stuff that I don't worry about too much. Let me show you this. Want to see some other views? This top button over here on the right is called View. Click that, and you get different views. All right, now here is the whole water column, and big numbers of the time. Battery level is important, and depth is 29.5 feet, but I've got 1.5 foot of transducer cable down, so I'm at about 31, just over 31 feet of water. Go to the next view. This is my GPS, all right, which I don't use on this one, but it comes that way. It's good GPS. Now here we get the flashers. You can get the flasher and your GPS. Say you were going to, I guess I don't know why you'd use that, unless you really want to see where you are on the GPS. Let's see what happens when I zoom this. All right, I'm zooming in, and this shows, this is all the spots I've been set up. I'm not sure if I've got a map chip in here or not, but I don't use that. So now I hit the button again, and now here I've got a flasher, and this is this is a nice flasher that they have on this one. The first Humminbirds, that Gen 1 stuff, the flasher wasn't very good, but this is very good. So you got flasher and regular, flasher and zoomed regular, which should be better, all right? And just flasher. Now this flasher has a zoom built right into it. It says zoom 2 times right there. Again, you hit the plus button. Did you do anything? Hit the minus button. All right, there. Now we got rid of the zoom. And you can see, that's all my lines right at the bottom. Hit the zoom, and suddenly they're way up to here. And watch what happens when I reel up this one. You'll see that it's a thick line up to about there, then it's going to get skinny. Right there, it just got skinny. So here's the zoom bar right there. So I can, whatever I want, if I was going to use the zoom, and you can move that around too, as if you wanted to come up and jig on a suspended fish. You can do that too. But this is a good zoom, a good flasher, especially with the zoom. But the first time I ever saw the Helix, I'll never forget it. I was watching Brian Brosdahl. He was out pan fishing for something, and I said, "What the heck is he using there?" And he was using a Helix 5, and boy, I went out and I got one right away. All right, so there's another screen you've got. You've got the Humminbird. Now, the flasher. Now we can go to, this is just water column top to bottom. Now we've got the split again. This is where we started. This is what I like to do. Let me give you another tip. What happened, everyone must know this by now, but if you don't, if you're going to run out and buy a Helix, when you get them, especially the 7, the 5 isn't so bad, but it's a lot going on in here. It's a big screen. There's a lot to it. It's pretty bright. What you want to do is you want to run, push the start and stop button down here once. Then you get this. You got sonar on. You got light. You want to put this on 7. When you first turn it on, every time it's going to be at 10. And that's plenty bright. You want to put it at about 7, and your battery will last for, heck, a couple of days. If you run it on full blast, that battery probably won't last you all day. Now, I'm not sure if you're into the lithium batteries, maybe that'll work. But 7 is plenty for me. What's going on here? Everything looks different now. Now, one other thing, then we'll wrap this up. Hit this menu again, and you get all this stuff. You get the gain, you get the chirp. My chirp is off. I don't know why. I don't mess with that. Show cursor. I don't need that. I don't need lower speed. I don't need any of this. But you get to the Sonar Colors. Watch what happens. I started on this black background last year, but this is, you've got the white background with yellow and green, and there's black with yellow and pink again. There's white and black and gray, black and gray. If you want a lot of color, there's green there. So you can just scroll through, they call them palettes. You can just scroll through hitting this button until you get to the one you want. I used the white one for a long time, and I saw someone use the black one day, and I thought, well, that's pretty good. This all seems like black magic to me. I think that's the one I want there, isn't it? It goes all the way through. There's a nice one. I'll get back to, this is the one that I use. And you hit exit. Now, it all seems like witchcraft until you just play with it for a while. Remember your view button, your menu button, and the several screens, several options that you have every time you use your Humminbird Helix. I hope that helped. If you have any other questions, ask me on the NCR Facebook page, and I'll see what I can do.